All right, is this thing on? I hope it's on. Little red light's on. Coffee's on. We are out here early in the morning. Not super early, but kind of early. We're gonna do a little something different. Gonna do a full board setup, and this board, this is a 1987 Caballero Dragon Bat reissue. And this would have been from the prime of when I was skating in the mid to late 80s. Stopped skating in '89 before I picked it up again in December of 2017. And I've been watching this guy, Dan T. Rooker, all one word, Dan T. R-O-O-K-E-R. He's got an awesome channel, and he's just out there skating a nice mix between current stuff and 80s. Just fucking having, bad word, just having a good time throwing it down the streets. And I was like, man, I want to build a Dan T. Rooker board. So I started looking at what I had at the house and tried to figure out what board I wanted. And by the end of it, this is what we came up with. So we're gonna build it, and it's gonna be awesome, and I'm excited about it. And I think we have everything we need. Minus something to pop holes in the grip tape. Nope, we can use a drill bit. So, man, I guess first thing we gotta do is grip it. And I'm gonna try and do an interesting grip job, and we're gonna see how it goes. We do have rails that's going on this board, and a skid plate, and I'm using what we called back in the day sex bolts or rat nuts. Let me show you here. Back in the day, you didn't just wood screw the rails through into the deck. You had you drill a whole hole, and then you took this top piece, came through the top of the board, and then the screw came down through the middle, and then they screw together, so it's actually going through the board. So we're gonna try and see if we can put those put the rails and tail on with that. It gives the board a cool aesthetic from the top, and I don't know, it's just what we did in the 80s, so I want to do that here. And then we're going to do some risers. I did think about going a half-inch single black riser, but then I was like, you know what, I'm going to do a two-color mix, and I think that'll be cool. We got some Psycho Sticks risers. All right, so let's see if we can grip this thing the way I'm envisioning it first. What I want to do is I want to get the head, I want to get the ripper up towards the top. So we're going to figure that out. And we want to curve it. I want to curve it down at the bottom. I'm going to use a bowl for that. Bowl. Third try trying to figure this out. All right, so I put the board down. I've got some tape markings where I know as large as the top design is. I know the head needs to go right about there. So I'm going to go ahead and tape this in place so it doesn't move around. Alright, now I'm going to fold this just so I have some idea of where the top of the design ends, along with my side markers. Then I'm going to place this bowl there. I'm going to make sure no red is peeking through. I think we got it. Alright. So I should be able to take this Alright, got it started. I don't want to cut through the board. So I'm going to take this off. Move this out of the way for a moment. Put my bowl back on. Alright, we'll have to see how much we have to edit out of that, but that was not as easy as I thought, but let's see how it lines up. You guys get the honest truth here and see how it works. You take this, and that's what we're going to be working with right there. Can you see that? So that'll be like the top to keep the ripper towards the top. So now we've got to cut this off. So I just scraped it a little bit right where the nose is. You can see that line. And then I'm just going to cut straight down on the grid above that one with the knife. Okay, so we've got our top piece, and now we got to create our bottom piece. We'll see how that goes. So this is the piece I have for the bottom, and it could go, looks like it's going to fit kind of perfectly if I just go straight across instead of rounding it. So we'll just go straight across with that one. It'll be dope. Alright, let's do the bottom piece first. I'm sweating already. I haven't even started skating yet, and we are going to skate this. This is going to get skated today. All right. Alright, we have the bottom done. Boom. Now, let's do our top piece. Hummingbird. There's a hummingbird right next to me. Alright, there you have it. Yeah, it's not perfect, but I don't know, I think it's cool. Alright, let's pop the deck holes. Deck holes? I don't know what they're called. So this is the old truck pattern. So had to have a set of trucks that had the correct drilling. I was initially thinking about putting some Ace on here, but they were not right. But I did have some Indy stage 11s, and that's what we're gonna go with. So we got some Indy stage 11s, some 159s, is what we're running for the trucks. We'll talk wheels in a minute. So we're gonna go, got some, I don't know what this is, Modest deck hardware, Allen key. I'm a big Allen key guy. I like Allen key. We got 8 black, 2 bright blue. We're gonna use these bright blue ones. I don't think so. I think we're gonna stick with all black. Oh, the blue might be cool. Okay, I was about to poke in the black bolt and I noticed that it'd be like right in his eye. It'd be right in his eye. So instead of doing the black, I'm gonna go with the blue because it's gonna look cool. The other one doesn't line up exactly with the eye. Blue in the eye hole and one black not in the eye hole. That's what we're going with. Yeah, I think that's cool. Alright, I already have the wheel truck combo set up. These trucks came off my favorite bull board, my Chris Miller Cat Bird. Been set up for 3 years, my longest setup board. Absolutely love it, but I have a new Chris Miller that I don't skate, and I need to force myself to use it. It's got Ace trucks and OJ Team Riders on it. So, Powell G-Bones. G-Bones come in one size, 64 millimeter. I forget the hardness. And just a classic wheel. If I could find T-Bones like we had in the 80s, they'd be on here. And then, like I said, the Indy 159 trucks. We are going to do some spacers, risers, and I'm going to go black to orange. Yeah, that's going to be dope. Now I have to determine which one of these was my front and which one of these was my rear. And this is my rear for sure because it's got some bashing on it. This is my front. You guys hear the chicken and the rooster? I don't even hear it anymore. And last time I made a video outside, I didn't realize it was happening until I watched the video back. And I was like, oh man. Brewster's getting after it. If you watch some of my older videos, I had an 89 Powell claw board, the white with the green claw. That was the last board I had when I started skating, or stopped skating. And I was able to rebuy it in 2018 when they reissued it. And I was skating it, and then Tony Hawk came to El Paso, that's where I was at the time, and he did a show. And I was able to get it signed by him, and I kept skating it, and I clear coated where the signature was. And then it kind of hit me that those boards are getting harder and harder to find. People want to charge too much for them. They don't get reissued that often. So I hung it up on my wall, and it's kind of the pride and joy of any collector board I have. Not because it's Tony Hawk, but because I was able to recapture the board that I lost. And that's really why I stopped skating. Like, I left the board out, it got stolen. It was big money back then. I mean, not much different than it is now. And I knew there was no replacing it. And well, I was like, well, that's over. And I guess that, you know, speaks to my commitment at the time. Like, I wasn't all in. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't a skater. I don't think skaters were skaters. In the 80s, I think it was really early 90s that skaters became skaters. Everyone where I grew up in San Diego just skated. We just skated everywhere. So, but you know, if I didn't do all that, I wouldn't be interested in all this now. And I'm all in now. Like, I'm more all in than I've ever been. This thing's looking fun. I don't know if you can see it from there, but it is looking fun. We're doing some good things here. I'm glad you guys are sticking around. I don't know if I'll edit this way down or not. Okay, in the world of skateboards, that would be done, but we're gonna do some more. I'm really liking it the way it looks so far. forget how flat the noses were back in the day. But man, you can see how the wheels line up. And these again are the 158 Indies, stage 11. I think they're really like the perfect size for this board. Really happy with that. So now you got the hard part. Not the hard part, but the part that we're not used to doing. And that is the putting the rails and the sex bolts, or tail on with the sex bolts, or rat nuts, whatever you want to call them. Lots of different names for them. Always known them as sex bolts. So we've got our rib bones. So we'll probably start with those. Those will be easiest. Okay, so I'm not going to get like super nerdy on measuring out where I put the rails. The cool part about this one, it's got all these little bats on it. So right here at the top there's a bat head, and I can tell if I move the truck down it's not going to hit there. And in the back I think I have enough spacer that it won't hit there. So I'm going to go like tip of the bat head, move that up a little bit, to the wing, right on the edge of the wing there. And then if I line the other one up, top of the head, edge of the wing. Whoop. The best way I found to do this is to use the wood screws that come with it and go ahead and just drill it in. Then pop those wood screws out and then make your final holes for the sex bolts. I like to start with the center hole. That way I know it's where I want it, and then you can kind of adjust it and wiggle it where you want it. That looks pretty good. And if you want, you can shape these, you can bend them, heat them up a little bit, bend them into place, get them where you want them. If you want to have some cool shape to them. I'm not too concerned about that. This is not going to be a wall hanger. This is going to get skated. Okay, so when that one went in, it drilled a little inside. So I just have to be aware of that on the other side. Okay, we got them all drilled in. Now I'm going to undrill them and then pop the hole straight through. It is a 7/32 bolt, allegedly, which fits this. So I'm going to go a little smaller. I'm going to go 3/16 just to see how that initial drill looks. So this is my test hole, just one down the center, and I'm just going to see how this fits. Nope, 3/16 is going to be too small, so I'm going to have to go with the 7/32 like I said earlier in the end. But let's go ahead and get these initially done. Remember, you got to go a little bit of an angle because that's how your screws went in earlier. my starter holes. I'm gonna pop the 7/32 in, which seems huge, I'm not gonna lie. That's what it is. Okay, see, I got the holes drilled in. Boom. Perfect fit. Perfect fit. Some of them definitely go in easier than others. Alright. We got the top ones in. Now we just gotta do the bottom ones. Just put it in there, not tight yet, just enough to hold it on. See, these are bolts. They're not, or yeah, they're not bolts. They're flat end screws. They're not wood screws, right? So they're just zipping right into the female end. No problem. Nope, forgot one. Okay, now let's tighten these down. Alright, got our rails on, nice and clean on the top. 6 bolts are in, looking good. I scraped them up a little bit. They're fine. Alright, now for the tailbone. Not the perfect tailbone for this board. It's not quite going to hit the roundedness of the tail. But we're doing it anyway. Oh man, I think we got it. A proper 1987 Caballero Dragon Bat, boom, Indy, stage 11, 159, or yeah, 158, 159 G-bones. I'm using the bones race bearings in here so you can crank the nut all the way down, doesn't need any spacers. We've got our rails. We've got our tailbone. We're using the sex bolt slash rat nuts on top. And there it is, a proper skateboard. This is what I would have grown up on. This would have been top of the line when I was growing up, and I'd have been super stoked to have it. And I'm super stoked to have it now. And we're gonna clean up here, and then we're gonna go skate it. And we're not going to the park. We're not going to the park on this board. We're just gonna go skate the streets and just skate like you would in the 80s. It's gonna be awesome. So, man, I'm excited. I hope that was interesting to you, if nothing else, for the sex bolts and maybe how I did the grip. And it's just cool. It's just cool. So, cut to skating.